Nearly 20,000 rhinos walk, breathe and eat across our land. And the majority of these rhinos are owned by government through our provincial and national park system, making them the largest rhino owners in the world. Now, our government, in essence, works for us. So we, the public, are emotionally invested in what is happening with our rhinos. And therefore, they feel bound to hold regular press conferences to keep us informed. In this week's Rhino Brief, I bring you government's most recent press conference in the next 180 seconds.
The Cabinet of South Africa has adopted a policy called the Integrated Strategic Management of Rhinoceros. The plan involves management of rhino populations, compulsory interventions, international cooperation, and long-term sustainability measures. The Minister of Environmental Affairs, Minister Edna Molewa, invited the press to hear how she and her department have implemented this plan and how they see 2015 unfolding.
In August 2014, I announced that rhino would be translocated from areas where they are currently under threat to more secure locations. 56 rhino have already been moved out of poaching hotspots and translocated from certain areas within the Kruger National Park to what we call an intensive protection zone, IPZ. An IPZ is an area where additional resources are deployed in order to ensure better protection for the rhino population. The animals have settled well in their new locations. None of the monitored animals moved to the IPZ have actually been poached. Further translocation of rhino in terms of this focus area will be undertaken in the course of 2015.
The translocation and sale of rhino was top of the agenda, with the new CEO of Sand Parks, Fundisile Mketeng, having to answer questions about the sale of Kruger rhinos to potential hunting outfits.
With the buyers and with the bidding process, there's a lot of profiling that is happening, so that we make sure that the sales or the business is done with reputable private owners when it comes to rhino conservation.
But ultimately, it was the confirmation of the final number that the journalists wanted to hear from the minister.
During 2014, we said to say this, a number of 1,215 rhinos were killed.
Major General Johan Jooste, head of anti-poaching operations in Kruger National Park, conveyed what the number meant for him.
Clinically speaking, looking at the number, it has increased yet again. It's an uncomfortable truth. For me as a person, for us as a Kruger National Park, and for us as a sand park. Without spinning it, we've got to stand up for what is achieved in the park. And I'll just hold this up. The escalation of the poaching effort is something that we monitor closely. It is not something that we guess because in the operations room we keep track. We've saved a lot more rhino that was killed. And if that sounds lame, it's not meant to sound lame, not to be apologetic. The confidence is there, like the minister said, that with the integrated approach that we have now, and with the glue to put together those building blocks, there will be traction.
Bonne was at the last conference the minister held in August, and it's interesting to note the increased value she is now placing on community involvement.
Without strong incentive for legal use, ladies and gentlemen, that in turn generate alternative economic opportunities, the incentive to become involved in poaching will remain. We believe so. And as I have said before, these affected communities need to see the value in a live rhino over that of a dead one.
The press conference was streamed live to journalists in Cape Town, and the Pretoria contingent was made up of print and television media, both local and foreign.
The national total of rhinos, is it about 20,000 or is it 18,000? Could you be just a bit more specific about that?
How many poachers have been apprehended by the soldiers of the South African National Defence Force in Kruger?
The minister fielded criticism by reminding the media that combating rhino poaching requires long-term solutions.
And in this regard, I want to re-emphasize that our doors remain open. We will not close the door to any potential solution, but we'll work with you and listen to you.
So it's important for us to take part in this dialogue. We can't have a one-way conversation here. Our voice must be heard by government. You can tweet Minister Molewa directly. She does reply, or you can send us your comments on any of our social media platforms. And that's your Rhino Brief for this week.